Hey folks, it's week 3 and it's Tuesday, September 8th, and this is your daily gender forecast. So here we go. There are really just 2 things on our agenda today. I've done this as a sort of gentle and just nice start to the week. Yeah. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to use the tags that we created on our homework posts. And in case you're curious, I'll just highlight those right here. So we're going to use those to identify our peers' blog posts, okay? And what I'd like you to do is to engage with at least 2 of your peers' posts. If you want to do more, that's super cool too. So hopefully you could find maybe one for each tag. We'll see. It just sort of depends. I can't really, guarantee who's going to do what. Okay, so after you've found a post that you want to comment on, you will just reply in the comments with a 2 to 3 sentence response where you're reflecting on whether, if it's, for instance, an identity wheel drawing, you might make a comment about how your peers' drawing has helped you think about something that you hadn't before. Or maybe there was a quote that your peer pulled out that you're like, wow, I actually kind of missed that. And here's how this makes me think about the reading in a different way. And it would be super cool too if when you're doing that kind of commenting that you might consider why I would have assigned you to do this reading in the first place, how and why it would connect to talking about trans topics, because it does, right? So that's the first thing. I'm assuming that maybe we can do that within like the first, 20, 25 minutes of class. Task 2, our last task for the day. Okay, I lied. It's the middle task, but it's teeny. I want you to learn how to collaboratively read a PDF on Google Drive. It's super easy. We're going to be doing it in our last task today. So there's like a 1.5-minute video that shows you how you can actually comment on a PDF in Google Drive so that you can collectively read PDFs together. And so we're going to do that in our last task. So just watch this video. And like I said, it's going to maybe take us 2-3 minutes to make sure that we're all on the same page. Okay. Then our last task, excuse me, frog in the throat, it's early. Our last task is to read Ziegler and Rasul's Race, Ethnicity, and Culture. This is an excerpt from Trans Bodies, Trans Selves. And so what we're going to do today is we are going to collectively read this together and comment on it together. So I've kind of come up with this little sort of catchphrase for how to participate that I'm calling the 1+2 reading model. So it's pretty simple. At least once during the reading, I want you to highlight a passage that you feel connects to the Johnson reading, and then include a comment that explains the connections that you're seeing between the Ziegler-Rasul reading and then the Johnson reading. Okay, so that's pretty simple. At least once do that. You can do it more if you want. I just don't want to overwhelm anyone. And then at least twice, I'd like you to read and reply to your peers' comments to continue the dialogue. Now, the thing about Google Drive is that some of the comments you might see showing up live, but you might want to, after you're done reading and commenting on the document, which could take you a minute, just kind of like close out of the document and then come back in, and then your peers' comments should be loading alongside of yours. And then I just want you to read 2 of your peers' comments and respond to them. All right. Now, there could be something that happens where you open the document and it says failed to sync comments. It's okay. That actually happens frequently. Just close out of the document again and then pop back in. So yeah, it's a slight bug in the system, but it does work when you close out of it and pull back in. Okay. So that's it. That's what we're doing today in class. All right. So, homework. You are going to be reading Julia Serrano's Dismantling Cis Privilege. The PDF copy that I've given you has my notes on it in the margins. If that isn't helpful for you and you would prefer a clean copy, let me know in Slack. I have found in my LGBT studies classes that my students actually tend to like it when they see my notes because it helps draw out things that they might have missed. But you might have a different experience, and I want to hold space for that too. So just do let me know. But as you're reading, just these are some of the things that you might want to kind of just check out. I've just tried to highlight even in the notes here what I think are the highlights of Serrano's piece. And then once you've done that, I want you to head over to Trans 101 Channel 2 and just write a 3 to 4 sentence synopsis that, maybe identifies a central takeaway that you took from Serrano's reading. Definitely cite the page number that key takeaway comes from, and then just explain why that was so helpful to you. Okay, so that's your homework. Cool. I will see you in Slack. I will see you in Google Doc, and I will see you in Google Drive. Okay, take care.